け翼。
フィジーブレイクで崩せ。
これがジャイアントクラッシュだ。
Hi guys, welcome back to EK Tsubasa. Quasar here as your narrator from the YouTube channel QuazarFC, collaborating with EK Tsubasa to bring you the video for the latest banner. We will be looking at two original characters and a Japanese fan favorite, EK! Alfredo Di Piazzolla. Innocent Fantasista is an agility defensive midfielder from Argentina playing for Copenhagen Youth. Piazzolla is one of the 6 original characters created exclusively for the game. Piazzolla is maxed out with 5 hidden abilities. Bond plus 2.5% stats for his team with 3 or more club players. Special Skill Force Up gives an additional 10% Special Skill Force for all his special skills. Special Skill Block gives 100% chance to block a special skill in a matchup. Pressure applying 7% debuff for his opponent's next action after he wins the matchup. Dribble Range Enhance increases the distance traveled after a successful dribble by 5 times. Like most of the recent characters from the regular gacha pool, he comes with a relevant team skill, Super Solidarity for agility type non-Japanese players plus 20%. His passive Stamina Killer applies an additional 25% stamina cost against all matchup opponents. His main skill, Fizzy Break, is an S-rank intercept capped at 445 momentum that requires 360 stamina per use. His other S-rank skills are Toughness Dribble, a high-tier dribble capped at 475 momentum, and a generic S high-speed tackle. His default skill set is completed with an A bullet shot. You should drop him A Fizzy Break to complete his skill build and replace his A bullet shot with the S version, but we do not recommend investing in it because it's just a bullet shot. His base shot at almost 10k seems to suggest that he will be good at shooting, but the fact that he does not have access to any decent shots and a questionable 5.7k power suggests otherwise. His dribble and intercept are both pleasing with stats over 8k, supported by ample physical stats. We suggest going with 25 dribble, intercept speed, and technique to maximize what he can do for now. Further investment is not necessary unless more relevant skills are released. His notable in-match parameters, with Limit Break included, are his dribble and intercept, with both above 13k. Since his Skill Force Up ability is unconditional, we are applying a 10% bonus for all his calculations. Toughness Dribble hits almost 69k force, which is not within the optimal range to dominate, and Fizzy Break just shy of 64k is great, but unlikely to bully as well. Piazzolla is like a lesser knockoff version of Michael that can't really threaten the goal nor pass the ball reliably. He's going to be extremely predictable since he can only dribble and intercept efficiently. Even if he manages to win a matchup using dribble or intercept, he needs to white pass the ball, which is just plain suicidal, with his weak base pass in a meta with auto intercept enhancement. Piazzolla barely gets 2 stars, largely for his bond and ability to drain stamina. Thiago Rossi, Giant Guardian, is a toughness-type Italian playing for Copenhagen Youth. He can be positioned as either a defensive or attacking midfielder. Similar to Piazzolla, he is one of the 6 original characters approved by Takahashi-sensei. Rossi comes with 4 hidden abilities. Bond plus 2.5% for his teammates with 3 or more skill-type players. Stat Handicap Resistance, reducing debuffs by 2%, and Stats Down, debuffing matchup opponents' stats by 15%. Lastly, Pedal to the Metal, granting him an additional 10% stats bonus during full power football. Rossi comes with Super Solidarity for toughness-type non-Japanese players plus 20%. His passive is Pressure, 10% debuff to his matchup opponent after he wins a matchup. His main skill, Giant Crash, is an S-rank shot capped at 480 momentum that requires 445 stamina and blows away up to 3 players. His other S-rank skills are Giant Guardian capped at 445 momentum and High Power Tackle capped at 450 momentum that comes with a 7% foul chance. He is rounded off with the A High Power Dribble, drop in an additional S High Power Dribble to complete his skill build. The majority of his stats are above 7k with his shot standing out. His mobility is rather average with only 5.5k speed, and his technique isn't pleasing as well at only 5.2k. We suggest making him a defensive midfielder going with 25 tackle, intercept speed, and technique. None of Rossi's in-match parameters are near the 12k mark. Giant Guardian hits 50.6k and High Power Tackle hits 50.8k force. His shot is not worth mentioning, and the same goes for his dribble. In order to win any matchups, Rossi needs to pick the correct action to stand a chance. During full power football, both his intercept and tackle improves to 55.7 and 55.8k force respectively. Rossi feels underwhelming as he is rather dependent on his debuff to be effective. We have tested similar characters like Ramirez, and we feel that these types of characters are not really reliable in competitive games since their effectiveness depends on your opponent's stats resistance numbers. They are useful for league mode though, as you can see and study your opponent's teams. Rossi gets 2 stars as well, as he might be able to contribute in teams built around stacking on debuffs. And last but certainly not least, Kozo Hyuga. Striker from the East is a skill-type Japanese forward playing abroad for the Italian club Piemonte during the Road to 2002 arc. Hyuga comes with Bond plus 2.5% with 3 or more skill-type Japanese players. Special skill block, 70% chance to block one of his opponent's tackle special skill in a matchup, and lastly, Club Players Killer, providing Hyuga with 5% stats bonus against club players. He comes with a relevant team skill, Super Solidarity for skill-type Japanese players plus 20%. His passive is GK Killer, improving his stats by 30% against goalkeepers. His main skill is an outdated and irrelevant Raiju shot capped at 475 momentum. His other notable S-rank sub-skill is Tiger Dribble capped at 415 momentum. He is rounded off with an A Raiju pass. Hyuga's stat allocation looks disappointing, with his shot at only 7.5k, and that alone is a deal breaker despite his 7.5k power. The rest of his stats are not as important except for his dribble, which he will be quite dependent on at only 6.8k and supported by a 5.6k speed. Nevertheless, we suggest going with 25 for dribble, shot, speed, and power. Hyuga's in-match base shot is atrocious at only 12.8k. This means he is extremely dependent on his passive to score. Against goalkeepers, Stormy Resurrection is at 86.4k. Jumping or descending Raiju shot hits 84.7k, and they are 5% weaker against non-club goalkeepers at 83.2 and 81.5k force respectively. Unfortunately, all mentioned shots are very underwhelming, reaching up to only 67.2k against defenders. We understand Hyuga is designed to beat the defender with his dribble and tackle skill block, so let's take a look. Sadly, S Tiger Dribble only maxes out at 48.7k force with limit break included. This means Hyuga is likely to be bullied by meta defenders with strong intercepts or blocks if he dribbles, even if the skill block procs. We suggest replacing A Raiju Pass with Stormy Resurrection. Consider dropping him S Fierce Tiger Tackle along with Jumping Raiju Shot or Descending Raiju Shot depending on your team lineup. Hyuga is staying true to the manga, being the tame tiger that struggled during his early days in Italy. He is going to have an extremely difficult time against most meta defenders due to his weaker offensive options. So the best way to utilize him is to set him up for a shot without him getting into matchups. Hyuga scraps 2 stars despite being largely disappointing. His easy-to-achieve bond and important in some teams to enable teammates' skills are his saving grace. On behalf of EK Tsubasa, I would like to thank all the members on Patreon and YouTube. Your support is very much appreciated and motivates us to keep the channel going, making videos for everyone. Do check out ways to support EK Tsubasa, or at least take a look. Links provided in the video description. Check out other videos listed here by YouTube. Subscribe if you have not, and leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys have a good one, and we will see you again soon. This is QuazarFC. Take care and bye-bye.